Okay, so what I've got here is a gallon of black and gray. Black Lizard Skin SC, which stands for sound control. Okay, they have two types of lizard skin that I'm aware of. First one being sound control. This would be your top layer in any of the applications. And then they have one called ceramic insulation, so it'll be CI as opposed to SC. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be coating the bulk of this frame, inner frame area here. Not so much up here, because that's where our quarter panel is getting really tight on that surface. But from about here down on a lot of this panel, all down in here, the wheel well mainly, because that's where all your sound amplification comes from, your tires. Even if you're driving an electric car, you're going to have that road noise from tires. So this area is very important. I'm going to try to do it on a little bit of the inside of here too, and even on the inner part of the interior where that is. Now I have this covered up because I don't want to get all the textured application of this just shooting randomly all over the place in there. So I just went ahead and blocked this off. I blocked this off to keep it off the package shelf. And really, I don't mind if there's some here, because the trunks in these cars were always kind of rough in a way anyways, with textures and stuff. So I'm going to use that on the side of the drop off here, and like I said, up in here. Hopefully it helps deaden some of the sound and just, you know, maybe cut out some moisture as well. Now they recommend using both of them for obviously maximum effect. I'm sure some people only use one. I really just learned recently that they had two types. I thought it was just one application of a product and that was it. So we're going to see how this does when we apply it. How does it feel? That kind of stuff. We have that kind of a, that's a kind of a spring here, because there's nothing really out here holding it other than the window when you have it installed. And hopefully it'll kind of eliminate some of that twanginess. But the ceramic insulation, they recommend putting over top of it, and it has to have 24 to 36 hours window time of the SC sound control drying before you put that stuff on. So we're going to see how this goes first. I do have a fairly fresh coat of primer on here. I would say if the primer was beyond its cure time and you want to put something like this on, go ahead, like they say, is scuff it up with like a red Scotch-Brite pad. Just get some bite into that so that it'll stick good. Other than that, optimal shooting times according to the instructions is about 70 degrees and higher. You can do it probably at 60 and up, but I think the ideal is 70 and up. Even when it dries, it needs to be maintaining that heat, that temperature. So I do have heat in the shop. I'm going to pop some windows open, and then we're going to let this thing cure overnight, because it's later in the day. I'm going to try to get a coat on here, at least a couple coats, and see what we got. As far as the coats themselves, it does come with, if you get the gun, I went ahead and got the kit because this is new to me. So when you get the kit, you get a gallon. You can get 2 gallons, 3 gallons, or whatever. I got the single gallon with the special gun. It has a larger nozzle because this is very thick, heavy stuff. And here's the thickness chart here. They give you this little gauge, and it shows you in the red what thickness is that you need to be at. You don't want too little, you don't want too much, it won't cure right, stuff like that. So nice little measurement tool to have. And you get the mixing rod, that's nice. Got a hex rod with a little whirligig on the end of it. That's cool. And that's, like I said, part of the kit. Here's this other little fitting here, which I will have to read on what that is for. I don't know if that's some kind of a, not sure.
Now is a great time to like and subscribe.
So, in a 24-hour period, I've put 3 coats on. I put 2 on last night, and then 1 solid one today. And it's setting up pretty good. It's about 60 degrees out, which is about as low as you want to go, but I do have a heater in here. It drops down below that, I'm going to turn it on. But it's actually curing up really good. I went ahead and extended down the rocker panels a little bit. I went ahead and put a tape line on the pinch well where the quarter panel will meet up to it. And then we also put tape down here in these areas, up here. We don't want to have to grind a bunch of it off and waste it. So just taped it, and it's so thick anyways, it's just the better way to do it. Okay. And also, you probably saw earlier we had this area taped here. That's where the brace between this panel and the quarter panel holds them together tight against the glass. So what we got to do, kind of thinking on the fly here, but it's looking like once this cures up good, we can start spot priming a few areas like the lock box where the latch is. That's bare metal where I welded it in, so I'm just going to hit that with some primer and just kind of touch up some of the sealer that we put on here and get some primer on that. And might dust a little bit on here just to kind of take that color back to more neutral, that light gray, so that when you do spray a metallic paint over it, it won't tint it. It will make it look darker. So I'll just probably just dust it on there a little bit, some epoxy primer. And yeah, then it's going to be ready for the old green thumb, the old envy, green with envy type situation. And that's pretty much going to cement what color the car is going to be as far as the restoration end of it. This is the color that it's going to, it was when it was new, and it's the color it's going to be as long as we've got it at least. So if we're going to get this detailed and deep into it, probably not going to change. It's probably not going to change because this is all going to get painted green, and the trunk and the floor. And I'm kind of thinking about this stuff also. I might do it on the inside of the roof up there. If I do, I'll probably already have some of that paint in there. We'll want to make sure we drape all that off and keep it from getting a bunch of splatter all over it. And it might keep that from sounding like that and sounding more like that sort of thing. So I think that'll conclude this short episode of lizard skin and how we applied it. Other suggestions would be make sure you have a bucket of water. They suggest that. And make sure you clean your gun out really, really good. Just take it all the way apart. It's a latex base, smells like latex, it breaks up like latex. And then when you're done with all the parts, put it back together, shoot hot water out of the can, and pretty much good to go. And cleans up really nice. It's a nice gun, and obviously it's kind of a one-off thing, so you can't just go down to the store and buy this. So take care of it, especially if you've got more of this stuff to do later. And anything else? Well, I guess that pretty much covers it. If I missed anything when I'm in editing of this video, I'll put it down below in the description. And then just stay subscribed or follow this channel, and then we'll see how this holds up over time when we start doing some more sound deadening. I have some kind of unorthodox ideas that we might implement in this area here later on. So if you're interested in seeing what that's about on our vintage economy car, that was probably a little noisy when it was new, but we're going to try to make it like a luxury car back in that day without getting too heavy. So is that intriguing? Maybe, maybe not. So until next time.